Hello, hello. I'm trying to get my camera in the right spot. Hi. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and I'm going to spend the next hour with you, guiding you through a live EFT session. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it is not your first time, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm going to try one more thing because I feel like you're having to look up my nostrils. There, that's better. Okay, I will settle for that. Hi. All right. I'm going to go through just explanations of how this hour works, and then we will get right into it. If you are not familiar with tapping, don't worry. I'm going to take you through all of the basics so you will have it down by the end of this session. If you're very familiar with tapping, then hopefully we utilize some of the clinical tapping techniques that maybe you're less familiar with so that you can just broaden and expand your empowerment that you already have with tapping. Either way, if you would like to actively participate, which you don't have to, you can simply just tap along with the suggestions and everything, and you'll get a beautiful release by the end of the session. But there are two ways that you can contribute actively should you choose. One is we do have an active chat. You can, at any point, drop in something that you would like to tap on in there. It doesn't have to be a big, huge trauma. It could be, I feel depressed today and I don't know why. I have a pet peeve with this thing with driving. It can be anything that is just in your way. And I will incorporate it as best I can into the tap. I don't answer a lot of questions that are in the chat just because this hour is about learning and feeling and experiencing tapping. We do have a channel here on YouTube. If you do have questions, we've got lots of answers there. And it is simply our company name, EFT Universe. Type that in and you'll find lots there. You can also always email me with questions, and I would love to support you in that way. If you have a suggestion, but it's just too personal to put it out there in front of everybody, don't worry. You can always email me that. And then the following week, I will respond and put it out there for the group, and we will tap on it at that time. Let's see, what haven't I covered? Oh, when we tap, so there are tapping points on the body. There are acupoints that we use to tap on. That go along with a basic protocol. You will notice that I tend to stay on either this tapping point here or these tapping points here that I tend to do like this. And that reason is because I want to just be as boring as possible. I want you focused in on your body and what you're experiencing. And if you're really into what's happening and you're tapping here and you look up and I'm here, I don't want you panicking thinking, oh no, I missed all these tapping spots. Do I skip them? Do I go back through them? And then you pull yourself out of that space where you had gotten yourself to in the first place. Also, you only need one tapping spot for specifically EFT to work. All acupoints have their own benefits associated with them, but you can have a successful session with just this point alone. Having said that, please feel free to move through the spots as you feel. And if you get lost, then you can always look to me and I'll catch you right back in. Alrighty, I do have one community email with a suggestion to bring up today. We will get grounded. I will share this, but first I'm going to say hello. Let me grab my mouse. Yeah. Hello, Mama Hutch. Oh, you've got happy flowers. I love that. Hi, Greg. Hi, Blast Scout. You'd like to tap for resetting your nervous system after seeing someone mistreat his dog. Oh, and I felt helpless. Boy, I know exactly what you mean. I feel you. Okay, thank you for that. Hello, Nikki. Jackie, hi. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. Jackie is a longtime friend of mine. We grew up together. So when I see her pop in here, it's always an extra little treat for me. Hi, Mary. An anxiety from political situation, if possible. Got you. If we don't specifically do politics, I'm certain we'll do something with anxiety. So I'll show you a way that you could substitute that in if we don't do politics. Hi, Nikki. Okay, feeling hopeless due to financial struggles. Thank you for sharing. I know that can be a heavy place And I'm really glad that you're here. And Jackie, I'm currently struggling with empathic overload, fighting hopelessness. All right, hear you. Like, it's too big, it's too much, can't save everyone, don't have like the ability to have the effect that I feel like needs to happen for this to matter, sort of a thing. Um, thank you for your suggestion, and I feel you, and I love you. Hello, Peg. And I wore, oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to play with my hair. Hi, Nancy. Oh, your hair really grew fast. Yes. As much time as it took to put it on. Always good to see you and be with my friends. Oh, thank you. I love that you're here, Nancy. Oh, thank you, Black Scout. Hello, Nina. Hello, beautiful Kylie. I'm so glad that you're here. And Nancy, changing your name changed your game, Fable. You would think so, but no. I've been doing this like my whole life. But I do have fun. I guess I haven't really. It's been a while since I've played with my appearance a whole lot on here, so must be a sign of just having energy or something today. Hello, Mama Hutch. Physical healing after an accident 13 months ago. I reached a milestone. My sit bone finally stopped hurting. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad and appreciate sunshine, hope in my journey. Oh, I'm so glad. What a huge moment. Just celebrating you. So big right now. Way to go. Way to go. And Linda, I just had shoulder surgery. So I have the clear braces and they're still new. So I will sound different, maybe until they're off, but that's where my sounds sound different. Just had shoulder surgery and you need to heal. Okay, that's definitely something that tapping can assist your body in recognizing. So great suggestion. And Lauren, facing forced retirement after 37 years and you're sad. And if I recall, there's been multiple times you've brought up work stuff on here. So this has been like a long battle, right? And dealing with a lot of negativity through this whole thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I think I remember, there's a lot behind that. And this isn't just this one, here we go moment. I'm very sorry that you're feeling the weight of that right now, and see what we can do to help that feel a little bit better today. And Dr. Scott, mental glitches, bandwidth issues due to poor and not enough sleep. Tapping for sleep has not worked so far. Any hacks anyone can suggest? Yes. What I would say is trouble going to sleep is probably the symptom and not the root cause. So until you can identify what poor sleep or not going to sleep is a solution to, then it's unlikely to unwind itself. Now, it's probably an impractical solution. It's probably something that you would go, that's why is that my solution? That makes no sense. That's usually where those things are stuck. And we can explain more of that as we get into it. It looks like I stepped out of a spy movie. I love that. Thank you. I could never be a spy. I don't think I could be smooth enough for it, but that makes me giggle. Thank you. And Kylie, agree with Jackie on empathic overload, always picking up on other stuff and impacts your emotional well-being. Okay. And Lauren, I am correct. Good. I mean, not good, but I'm glad that I recall it so that I can show up for you in a complete sense. And Paula, old sadness from early childhood, overwhelming. I hear you. And thank you, Mama Hutch. Alrighty, I feel like we've kind of got 3 pillars of different kind of categories. So let's see if we can get to all of them today. But first, let's go ahead and get grounded. Oh, and the suggestion, I'm gonna look it up on my phone here, that we have from a community member online, asking to talk about boundaries, bullies, and feeling guilty for standing up to them. So learning to be comfortable with being our own advocate instead of people pleasing. And I'm just out of saying I still haven't sent you where to see the Friday videos. So I will send you that link, I promise. And I appreciate this edition because I feel like it does tie into some things that we've talked about here, which is learning to reset ourselves and our template and our boundaries of how we're processing our environment and where we set our boundaries to be. I think this is going to be an important thing to address with the empath suggestions as well, because there's a lot to go in that. But first, let's get grounded, and then we'll get into tapping. I want to talk it all away. All right. So go ahead and just notice your body. Just move it around a little bit and see if anything speaks up when you do. Pay attention to just scan your body. Are you cold? Are you hot? Do you need a drink? Do you need to run to the bathroom? Do you need to pull a ponytail out? Do you need to, take your shoes off, put some socks on? Anything that's simple and easy that your body is asking for. If it's changing sitting positions, maybe lying down instead of sitting up. Whatever it is that you can easily accommodate, please give yourself permission to do that now. That signals to our bodies that we're going into a more focused, relaxed, calm state. We have time. We have time right now to relax and allow ourselves to feel a little bit better. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Let it out. And just for right now, when you take a breath in and you let it out, if it feels comfortable, sigh, groan, whine a little bit with it, and let yourself slouch. We're really wanting to give all of these physical signals of this is a space where we're going to relax. Okay, let's do another breath. And breathe normally. And go ahead and now that you've scanned your body physically, let's scan it emotionally. And we're just noticing, we're just taking note. We're not trying to fix anything. We're not judging anything. But where do you feel in your body right now? What's speaking up? What draws your attention? Do you have a headache? Do you have pain in your shoulders? Do your knees feel tight? What is it that your body is paying attention to that you can also listen to with your mind? And maybe it's not a physical aspect. Maybe it's emotional. You feel a weight on your chest. You feel a tightness in your throat. You feel an anger in your head. And we're just looking, we're just naming, we're just paying attention. Let's go ahead and take another breath. And as we're sitting here noticing, go ahead and pick a number between 0 to 100 of how present, how complete you feel right now. And it could be, well, I feel very present, but I also feel full of everybody else's stuff. I don't feel like it's just me and my body. I feel like I've got a whole village in here. And so maybe that lowers your number. Or maybe you're like, I have about 10,000 because of all the people in here. Maybe you're really thinking about something from the past. So 70% of you is there and 30% is present right now. Or you're worried about something in the future. So you've got 45% of you there. And why did I pick that number? 45, 55? Numbers are not my thing. Percent of you here. And just, again, we're just getting a number. We're just communicating. We're paying attention to ourselves. We're communicating. Now let's go ahead and take another breath. And now of all of the things that you just listed and named and have paid attention to, if you want to, you can use your hands. If not, you don't have to. And you can just feel those spots on your body and ask yourself, is this something that I can affect right now? Do I have an opportunity right now to address this, to address the heaviness here, this emotion? Yes. Is right now an opportunity for me to address the pain in my knees? Yes. And whatever else it is, what body parts, what names that you've given to it. And just give yourself that yes. If you get a no, that's okay. But just look for the yeses. Where do you have yeses? Give you a few moments to do that. Okay. And with those, now simply ask yourself, is there any other part of me that would like to be present in this moment as I engage this ability? And just send out a soft invite to those parts of you that feel full, feel heavy, feel distant. Just open a channel, open a pathway. And let's take one more breath. And let's see, I'm going to see if there were other suggestions. Okay, and Jackie, people pleasing is a good one. Encourage so much to ensure everyone else is comfortable regardless of what it costs. Yeah. And Tanya, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, and you're seconding Dr. Scott's suggestion for sleep. You have the same issue. Alrighty. I'm going to give a little bit of a premise on some stuff, and then we will tap, because this is going to kind of cover a wide span. Talking about boundaries, about adjusting a scenario so that you are included, so that you are equal in it, so that you are protected. So often, so often in life, when we are children, we're taught it's not safe. We're not safe to have boundaries. We're not safe to stand up for ourselves. We're not safe to have our own ideas about things. And that will pull into adulthood if we don't ever learn that changes. We know that we grow up, that we become responsible for things, but it just feels like, oh, I'm just now responsible for a lot more things now. Maybe you never felt like, oh, now I get to choose. Now this is my turn, because it is a skill, and your brain, if it hasn't received that signal, then you've just piled on all of these responsibilities without being given any more government. And a few things happen when that happens. You get overworked, you get burnt out, but then how does your body protect you, right? When that happens, it can't stand up for itself because that's not allowed. You can't ask to be equal. You can't, all of those old rules still apply. So what can it do? It can create an opportunity for you to get overly tired and worn because now you have a legitimate excuse. It can create an opportunity where you're way more likely to become ill because now you have an excuse. It will find some way to protect you that is a channel where it's found success before to be acceptable. And there are more discreet ways too. Maybe you take on more responsibilities than you can actually handle, because now you can say that. Whereas before, if you said, well, I really just need this afternoon to myself, I need to recover. And if someone's coming to you and saying, I need your help, I don't know what else I'm going to do, I'm so overwhelmed, and I need someone there for me, and you don't feel like you can dare say that you can't be there for them, and you have this free afternoon. So what do you do instead? You fill up that afternoon with other things, maybe things that you feel like you could handle a little bit better than whatever else you might be tasked with doing if that time is open. So then what can you do about this? Well, first, let's say this could be part of what's manifesting with sleep problems. That would be one way that getting poor sleep is a solution. It is obviously also a problem. This is called secondary gain, and it is a clinical EFT tapping technique where I think probably the most commonly used example is when someone is trying so hard to lose weight and they just can't no matter what. And then they start tapping and they realize, oh, I have a fear of, if I lose this weight, I won't know who I am. People will get mad at me. People will take advantage of me. I won't be safe. I won't be loved. I won't be all of these things that are much, much worse than being overweight, at least in their mind. They don't want to be overweight, but they really, really don't want these other things. And the weight protects them from having to deal with all of those. So keep that in mind and see if that helps. And then tying that into Also with the not standing up for yourself, the bullying, the feeling guilty about that, right? Being taught that you're a bad person if you stand up for yourself. You absolutely, you're being just like them. If you put boundaries, if you say, hey, that's not appropriate and I'm not going to stand for that, then you probably were taught that is the same as what they just put on you. And that's not true. Because if someone's bullying you, then they're intentionally being harsh and mean and name calling and gaslighting and all of these other things. And holding a boundary just prevents them from doing that. And they don't like that. So calling you the same as them is a tactic to try and get you to not place that boundary, because then they're ineffective. If you successfully put that boundary, then they don't get to be a bully, at least to you. So they're going to try to tear that down, and that's usually a pretty effective way to do it because they know that you don't want to be a bully. So again, those principles from when you were young, you weren't allowed to have your own opinions. You weren't taught to have self-worth or self-value. And then how was that getting in your way now? I'm just going to scan through real fast and see if there's any other examples that I want to toss in. I would say hopelessness too could be a part of that. Hopelessness is actually something that is used a lot as a solution in the subconscious brain for safety. Because so often when we want to do something that's expansive and that's really, really not safe to be seen or to be heard or to be your biggest and best and most genuine self, then your brain will offer to you very uncomfortable places to be so that you stop pushing on that really unsafe place of being fulfilled. And of course, all of this is twisted, right? And the brain just needs help knowing that. That's all. Just looking through. So maybe, Paula, that can assist with the old sadness as well. I don't know what you are aware of that's bringing you that old sadness, but that might apply as well. But let's go ahead and jump into the tapping on this issue. But then I'm gonna use the language of how is this a solution? And don't worry if you hate that, if you absolutely hate that suggestion right now, I feel you. That's valid, and we'll tap about that. So go ahead and start tapping. As I consider this issue that's really in my way right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now this issue is really causing a lot of problems, and I don't see any solution. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now this problem feels so much bigger than me, it feels like it can outlast me easily. And I might feel like I don't even know if I want to keep fighting it or if I just want to let it roll me over and I'll deal with the aftermath. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, in what ways is this so exhausting? What impact and impacts does this currently have in my life? How does this affect my body? How does this affect my emotions? How does this affect my mind, my spirit, my future? Mm-mm. As I consider all of the weight that comes from this thing that's in my way, I wonder, is it possible that this is a solution somehow for something? Hell no! Absolutely not. No way. No, I refuse to even, no, no. There's no way I would ever look at this as a solution. It is drowning me in trying to overcome it. There's no way that I've asked for this, that I've invited this, that I'm encouraging this. How dare you? How dare I even ask that question? Absolutely not. Even if I feel 100% certain that these issues that I'm feeling right now are not a solution for me in any way, I allow myself to just be curious, to consider the absurd, to say silly questions, because what does it matter? Might I lose a few minutes? Yeah, but that's about it. It is okay for me to ask silly questions right now. Okay, well, if by some means this really hard thing is seen to some part of my brain as a solution, how? How could it be a solution? What is it allowing? What is it protecting? What is it defining? Is it allowing me to have a boundary, an excuse in places that I otherwise don't feel comfortable expressing? Is it allowing me to have value or worth when I don't know what my value or worth might be otherwise? Is it keeping me from having to think about other aspects, like new things, leaving old things, old people behind, finding new purpose, new place, new value, new definitions? And those all feel really scary and hard. So maybe I just focus on what this one is. Am I afraid that if I try, I'll find out I'm not what I think I am? That if I had space and time to do what I wanted, to be who I really want to be, who I believe I am inside, that it may not be true. And I'll really feel bad about that. I wonder whether any of these or something else does seem a little plausible, a little possible as a potential reason for this to be a solution, where would I have learned that? Where would I have learned that it was better for me to hurt myself than to speak up for myself? That it was better for me to go without something that I need than to stand up to or walk away from someone currently in my life. Where did I learn that I am an acceptable sacrifice? This problem, this big problem in my way, this big problem in my life, me, my life, acceptable sacrifice. Acceptable sacrifice. Acceptable to deplete. Acceptable to run down. Acceptable to ignore. To deny. Everyone gets cared for, but me. I don't matter. Maybe I don't know why I don't matter, but I feel it. I feel that that's true. I feel it's true that I don't matter. Even if right now I'm realizing I have some deeply rooted beliefs about my own value in difficult circumstances. And as I continue to explore this, I hold space to discover a different truth. I wonder, is it plausible that it's really true that out of everyone on the entire planet is deserving but me? I'm the only one, just me. Everyone, but not me. Logically, does that make sense? Even if I feel it with every bit of my body, does it make sense? Yes. No. I don't know. Whether or not I am sure if this makes sense, I hold space to ask this question right now. Because isn't it true that if I ask the question now and I already have an answer that's very deeply rooted, I've asked myself this question before. And I had my answer. My answer at that time isn't making me happy, and it isn't working in my life right now. And it's making things really difficult and really hard. And it's probably true that it was really difficult and really hard when I made that decision too. So whatever I was facing had to be more hard. It had to feel more big in order for this agreement to feel like a relief, like a safer choice. As I consider what must have been happening when I made the decision before about how little I matter, I choose to hold immense compassion for that moment for myself. I wonder, would I look at them now? Would I look at them in the face if I could go back to that moment and say, yep, you're right. You don't matter. Ooh. Oh, no. That's painful. I know I should matter. I believe I probably knew it then too. But whether it was true or not, I didn't feel like I had another choice. Back then, I didn't have another choice. I wonder, do I now? Am I able now to matter? Yes. No. I don't know. Okay. Well, how could I see? How could I test it out? How can I try to find? We made a choice. Olivia, I need you off the internet, please. I'm back now. Okay. I was so worried. Sorry. I don't know why that happens. It happened a few weeks ago. Okay. Sorry. Jumping right back in. Yes, thank you, kiddo. I don't know if we had too many devices on or something, but hopefully that's it. Sorry for that disruption. Go ahead and just breathe. Try to get back to where you were. Wherever I picked up and chosen to this belief, I'm ready to try and see if I still need it. It must have been useful. It must have been my best chance at the time, but maybe that's not true anymore. So how do I find that out? Maybe I start with me. Kiddo, no noise, please. I will just see if it's safe for me to matter for myself. Even if I don't say anything different to anyone else, maybe I start to acknowledge things just within my own mind, my own body, my own heart. And maybe my voice can be safe there. And maybe once that's safe, I can start to express outwards. And maybe I'll just leave it at that, and that'll be enough. But whether or not this turns into a huge transformation, I give myself permission to take this first step without exactly knowing yet what it's going to feel like or how it's going to go. I do know I want to matter. And I do know it's exhausting. It's exhausting to keep finding ways to not matter because I've done a really good job of healing. And I've done a really good job of support and building things around me. So my brain has to work really hard to keep me stuck. And wouldn't it be great if it could just be safe, if it could just be allowed instead that I matter? And maybe before the world would have collapsed around me if I'd asked for that. But I have pulled myself away from that now. And I'm ready to see if I'm in a place now where the world doesn't collapse if I matter. Maybe the world even gets stronger. Maybe there's relief because I get to feel relief too. Permission to choose myself. Permission to matter. Permission to explore this, even if I only start within myself. And as I continue to be curious, I give myself permission to try this out in whatever way feels good to me. And I give myself permission to give permission for things to work out in my life. Because now it is safe for things to work out. And as I explore the meaning behind this and what it could look like for me, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause tapping and take a breath. Nicely done. So just take a second and notice, think about the thing that you thought of when we first started tapping. And how do you feel now when you think about it versus then? It may not be gone. In fact, I'd be surprised if it was fully gone. Usually these things are bigger and there's multiple spots to tap on, but do you feel better? Do you feel more curious, more open? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more present? Do you feel more cared for? Do you feel seen? Does something feel possible? Do you just feel less depressed or less stressed? Were you yawning, sighing, crying, breathing deeper? All of those are signs that there's something that you said where your brain latched onto it and said, that is a better choice. And I do agree with that. That does make better sense. Let's incorporate that. And now it's going to work from that point moving forward. And that will continue without you tapping on it, even though you're not tapping on it anymore. So congratulations. All right, then let's jump right into another tap. Let's see. Oh, Paula, that's big. I hope that tapping helped. Courage is purpose, but just pain. Oh, I hope so, Kira. I'm so glad that you feel encouraged. Parting that resonated, believing I am an acceptable sacrifice feels hard. Good, good, because that's a very common message, and it's just not true. A person being an acceptable sacrifice to another person, they're really in a mindset that isn't loving. When that's what's offered, even if it's all that they know, and they're not trying to be unloving. It's yeah. Okay. I'm going to scroll through. I'm probably going to do a physical body because we can also adjust that for emotion as well. Okay, I see that there's some really great comments in here. I'm sorry I don't have time to sit and chat through all of them. But thank you for making them. Thank you for putting them in here. And I will read them after the live for sure. But I love that you have them for each other as well. Let's go ahead and do physical body. Okay. I'm knocking over my water bottle. Okay. So with this, if you don't have something, first of all, congratulations. If your body feels fantastic, it could be something that you're looking to enhance or make better, like working out. Maybe you have a physical goal of building muscle. It doesn't have to be something that it's horrible and you're looking to let go. It could be something that you're looking to receive as well. You want better cholesterol, better sleep could be something that you could tap on here very specifically. Less headaches, feeling more energized throughout the day, having a clearer mind when you're thinking through something, even just having more stamina. But just, I would caution you, whatever you choose, make sure it is for you. And it's not so that you can try to be a better solution for something or someone else. Because if you have that safety trigger, like what we just tapped on, then you're kind of building up both. You may build up more of oh yeah, now I'm stronger here. And then your safety measure is going to go, ha ha, me too. So we'll try to tap that in with it. So physical body, I know shoulder surgery was mentioned, and anything emotional, mental, physical that also affects your body is very valid in this next tap. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping. And as you consider this thing that is affecting you, that you can identify within your body, go ahead and place where in your body it resides. How do you know that this is an issue? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it constantly, or does it surface only in specific times? When you feel it, do you have emotions about it? Do you have judgments? Do you have negative thoughts towards yourself? Are you harsh when this is there? And when you feel it, what do you feel is true now? What's true for you? Does it mean you're less than? Does it mean you're disappointed, you're not going to get done what you wanted to? Does it mean you're scared that your future, this is a foreshadowing of worse things? What is it that you decide is true because of this issue? And then where do you feel that? Where is the network of influence? Where's the network of impact that this issue has in your body? How deep does it go? Do you feel it down in the depths of your soul? Do you feel like it permeates everywhere? Or is it just kind of a sitting on the top? If you could brush it off, you would, sort of a thing. As I consider how this thing is affecting me, and how it's affecting me in my body. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though this thing is definitely affecting me, and I absolutely feel it in my body, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even if with this thing, I do feel judgments, emotions, harshness towards me or towards my outcome. And I don't have a solution for that yet. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. This issue that I feel in my body, this issue that has a big impact in my life. I wonder, why does it have such a big impact? Well, it has a big impact because it's a big thing. It matters a lot. So, of course, I'm going to feel it. Of course, it's going to affect me. That's the way things are. As I consider the impact that this has on me and has on me physically in my body, I give myself permission to be curious. Does this impact everybody this way? Well, what does that matter? I'm not everybody. I'm my own person. Everything affects everyone differently. What a silly question. Even if I feel pushback on trying to ask and consider the impact that this is having on me, I allow myself any and all emotions that I have. And I hold space just to be curious. I wonder the impact that this thing has on me. Does it have to be there? And if I do believe it has to be there, why? Why does it have to be there? Is it validating? Is it showing me and others what a big deal it is? And if it wasn't impacting me like this, then it'd get blown off. Nobody would care. Nobody would consider it. So it has to be big, because when it's big, then that's protecting my experience with it. Okay. Maybe it has to be big because it's really affecting me, and that's genuine and it's painful. And if I don't feel that it's painful, if I don't show that it's painful, then doesn't that mean that I'm dismissing it? And I don't want to dismiss this. It is important. It's a big deal. So it's okay if it's painful. It's okay if it wears me out. It's supposed to wear me out, right? Hmm. This big deal, this really big issue in my life. I wonder what would happen if it wasn't such a big deal. As absurd as that may sound right now, I give myself permission to be curious. What would happen if the weight of this, if the heavy emotions of this were just gone? I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to fix anything. I didn't have to heal anything. I didn't have to avenge anything. They were just gone. What would that do? Would I feel wronged? Would I feel unimportant? I wonder. Is there a different emotion on which I could place importance? A different space that I could hold that wouldn't be as heavy, but that would still represent how big this is. Yes. No. I don't know. Well, I wonder, what would that even look like? What could I replace this with that would feel better for me, but still meet all of the needs that I have as I move through this big thing? Well, maybe I feel grief, but I don't have to feel pain. Is it possible for me to let go of pain? Maybe I'm afraid, but I don't have to be panicked. Is it possible for me to let go of panic? Maybe I feel sad, but is it possible for me to let go of broken? As I consider all of the feelings, all of the beliefs, all of the judgments that I hold surrounding this issue, all of these things that are in my body right now, I wonder which ones are helping, which ones are truly allowing me to express, to connect, to move forward, and which ones are just making me a martyr, that are just giving me this definition for this hard and painful time in my life. What if I gave myself permission to be seen and validated and protected from the harsher things? Because isn't it true that this scenario is hard enough? I really don't need to hold on to more. I really don't need to make this heavier. It's heavy enough. I don't need to make this harder. It's hard enough. And it's okay if I have moments where I feel things. But I choose to let things pass and release the parts, the extra bits, As I identify them and ask myself, can I let this one go? I choose to truly release it with every yes that I find. Go about another minute. This hard thing, in my life, some things I can't control with it. But as I ask myself questions about what I am holding in my body and what I can release, I give myself permission to release. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and stop tapping and take a deep breath. And take just a moment, feel into your body. Notice if you feel any better than you did when we started on that tap, if things feel more possible, if you just feel more relaxed and you're like, I got no answers, but I do feel a little bit better. That's still a sign that your brain found something to be more positive about, and it will continue to build on that with you, even though you're no longer tapping. So congratulations and good job. And we went pretty deep and heavy on those. And I feel like we had to kind of dip back up really fast. So I'm going to do a quick closing tapping to just kind of lighten things back up a little bit. If you can't stay for that, no problem. I love you. Thank you for being here. For those of you who can, let's jump right into it. Actually, I'm going to tap here. Woo, that was a lot. That was a lot of deep diving. And however that has turned out for me, I'm proud of me. That's a big deal that I've done this today. And it's really great that I chose into this and I got to have this experience, that I get to be a part of this community, that I get to show up with other people around the world. It's really special. And I allow myself to float back up, pull myself back in from wherever I went just now, from my past, from my present, from my future. And I give myself permission to just float, to just be, to feel light, to find those places that feel relaxed, to find those spaces that got some relief, and just really feel into that right now. I can feel those other feelings later. They'll come back to me. I'm not worried about losing them. But this feels good. Right now, I've really done some good things, and I allow myself to let that shine right now. Feeling good. Feeling good all through my body. Feeling light. Feeling light and cheerful in my mind, in my heart, in my body. And as I now continue on with my day and I encounter whatever I encounter, I allow this moment to be a part of all of the moments that come next. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause and take one last breath. With that, we finish. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly treasure this every week. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. And if you have any questions, if there's something that you want to email me about for tapping, please do. I do post a video every Friday, oftentimes with subjects that you've communicated with me about, because it is strengthening to our whole community. So thank you for all of the ways that you contribute to this being a thing. I think about you, I love you, and I hope I get to see you next week. But if I don't, you're always right here. Okay. Mwah. I will see you soon.